Movies, TV shows, and fashion magazines love promoting certain stereotypes about Parisians and Paris. It's time for you to know the truth. Hi, my name is Lynn and I've been living in Paris for almost 7 years and I've gotten to know the city pretty well. So I'm gonna tell you about the biggest lies and the things that I think are sort of true. This way you'll know what to expect of Paris even before you step off the plane. So let's start with this one. Emily in Paris got it so wrong. No beret, guys. Lie number one, Parisians are so chic. So Emily in Paris, perfume adverts, and pages of Vogue, the media does not paint the real picture of how Parisians dress. Sure, some Parisians wear super chic clothing, but they're hiding out in the ritzy parts of town and you probably won't even see them. Most Parisians actually dress pretty casually, but put together and everything fits perfectly. So for example, they wear jeans paired with a nice top and with a nice scarf and everything looks, casually chic. Sneakers are also pretty popular, but I'm talking about nice classier ones and not the clunky sporty shoes. You'll see them wearing nice flats all year long and stylish leather boots during winter or fall. And heels are a no-no here because it's too complicated. Like imagine wearing stilettos on cobblestone in Paris. Pretty hard to walk. You can pack a nice dress or nice trousers or a nice shirt if you're planning on a classy dinner out, but otherwise try to keep things simple, clean and classy because it will save you a lot of storage in your suitcase if it's gonna be super heavy and you're not gonna wear them that much because you packed things that are not made to wear in Paris. Now this next assumption has some truth in it, but I'm gonna give you some ways around it. I'm not gonna lie, Paris is quite expensive. It's ranked top 7 of most expensive cities in the world, and the expenses here are high for locals. But what does that mean for tourists? So some things here have a big price tag, but there are options for all budgets, which means that you don't have to throw your money everywhere. If you have a specific amount of money you want to spend, then you're gonna find options for that. Let me tell you how you can save up on your trip. Paris is an amazing city for walking around and just taking it in. And French people just have a word for it. It's called flâner, which is just to walk without an end goal, just walk and enjoy. And you don't necessarily have to buy tickets inside of all the major sites to appreciate watching them. You can just walk and just look at the beautiful view and enjoy. Also, you don't have to spend that much for art and museums in Paris because there are a lot of free museums. So instead of going to the Louvre or to any other museums that is going to cost you money, like for example Versailles, you can go to the Petit Palais, the City of Paris Art Museum, or the Musée Carnavalet. They're all 100% free, so you can go there and enjoy for €0. And sometimes I even think they're even cooler because there's not a lot of people there, so there's not a lot of traffic. You enjoy your art in a quiet space. Eating at a bakery is a fantastic way to try French food without spending a lot. So you can have breakfast here for €5 and you can get a pain au chocolat and a croissant and some coffee, all for €5. And for lunchtime, there's in most bakeries something called la formule, where you can get a salad or a sandwich with a drink and also a dessert, all for around €8 to €10. So you can have a proper meal and trust me, you'll be full. I would buy this for a picnic. I would buy this for a picnic. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. And then get some fruits. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. You likely want a few sit-down meals in Paris. And when you want to go to these restaurants, you don't want to spend that much money, I would advise you to go to a bouillon. So bouillon are restaurants that serve classic French food. Also, they're pretty affordable, so you can get a 3-course meal for around 20 to €25 and you'll have a great time. Accommodation is another area where you can save up a ton of money for your Paris trip, and I'm talking about hundreds of dollars if you're willing to stay in certain districts or to book certain types of hotels. There are some great modern hostels with cool bars or even private rooms, or you can book a hotel on the outer ring in the 13th, 14th, 15th or 20th arrondissement where the hotels are going to be for cheaper, so you can get great deals. You're going to be able to save up a lot of money. We've got a whole bunch of accommodation recommendation on our website, so make sure to click the link in the description below to check those out. The truth about this next lie will also save you big. But before we get to it, are you loving our tips so far? Then you'll want to get our downloadable Paris 101 guide. It's packed full of tips and all the information you need for your first trip to Paris. And did I mention it's free? You can get it via the link in the description box or by scanning this QR code. So Paris has a lot of famous sites. Arc de Triomphe, Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Notre Dame, Sacré-Cœur, and you might be stressed like, oh my God, like, am I gonna be able to fit in all those sites? The thing is, it's actually your trip, so you can decide which sites to visit, what's best for you. So while you're deciding which sites you actually really want to visit, ask yourself if you actually like art or viewpoints, because maybe you'd rather explore the local side of Paris and wander in markets, track down street art, or check out the music scene. It's a big city and there's something for all interests, so don't do things that will bore you or that are really expensive just because you've been told to do them. So I'm gonna tackle now the most widely spread lie about Parisians. Are you ready? Parisians are rude.
That's the French way. They're very disagreeable.
So you might be wondering now, is this really true? Well, first off, it's possible that your expectations about how people should interact in public are culturally different from France. Parisians tend to keep to themselves more than Americans and have a different communication style, but don't mistake this for being rude. Parisians can actually be really friendly if you follow a few golden rules. So what are they? So a lot of tourists might get a cold reaction from a French person simply because they didn't say bonjour, which means hello or have a good day. In English-speaking countries, it's usually the waiter or sales attendant who's the first person to have to say hello, but in France, it's the opposite. So whenever you come face-to-face with some sort of salesperson, say bonjour, it's the magic word in France. So the more you say it, the more you get smiles. You can use other few words that are really common, which are merci, thank you, and you can use s'il vous plaît, which means please. That way you'll keep a good interaction between French people. And they'll be friendly with you, hopefully. Okay, so now, do not seat yourself at restaurants when you go there. At French restaurants, it's common to wait to be seated. So the waiter is gonna come, he's gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a table, blah, blah, blah. So if you sit yourself down, chances are the waiter will be pretty grumpy with you and might even ask you to move. So we don't want that. There is a little exception to this, and that's cafes, terraces, where you can usually seat yourself. Just be a little careful around meal times. If you're just having a drink, don't choose a table that's already set for those eating, or the grumpy waiter will show up. And last, do not speak loudly in public. If there's one sure way to get nasty looks from Parisians is by speaking loudly. And this is especially for cafes, small restaurants, and on the metro. And honestly, it's a good idea to just keep your voice down on the metro anyway, because speaking loudly and in English is practically an invitation to be pickpocketed. This brings us to the last myth, one that I do think is actually true, which is, drum roll, Parisians smoke a lot. I really wish I could tell you that the reputation of the French being big smokers isn't true, but it is. At 34%, France has the highest rate of smokers than any other Western European countries. Smoking isn't allowed inside restaurants and cafes, but is on terrace. So if you're sensitive to smoke, you might want to opt for the table inside and away from open doors and windows, and you'll be able to enjoy a smoke-free drink or meal. Just don't forget to wait to be seated and say bonjour to the waiter. Now you've got the inside scoop, but we've got more secrets to share. Watch our video on places Parisians don't want tourists to visit next. À la prochaine, guys, and see you next time.